Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special edition of the Wrestling Forum. This is the Money in the Bank post-show recap live on YouTube.com. This is good old MF Michael Fletcher, the host of the Cerebral Smack Talk, and I'm alongside the host of Ridiculously Raw, Anthony Florio, and our two esteemed panel members, the Phenom Michael Bullock, the Twisted Angel Dee Woodson. We are going to talk about Money in the Bank live from Chicago, Illinois, from the Rosemont Horizon, or aka the Allstate Arena, exclusively on the WWE Network. And oh my God, what a night it was. All right. So, unfortunately, as many of you guys know, because of my work commitments, I was unable to do the show. So, we're going to run a three-person recap with Anthony, Didi, and Mike Bullock. But just to get stuff out of the way, the formalities, there was a pre-show fight that started for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It was the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout was the Bludgeon Brothers. They successfully defend the titles at 7 minutes. So we're just going to go right into the main card. First fight of the night, to get out of the way, Daniel Bryan goes one-on-one with Big Cass. Daniel Bryan wins the match 16 minutes and 20 seconds via submission. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
Thank you very much, MF, and hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special edition of the Wrestling Forum, our Money in the Bank recap edition. Your ridiculously over good brother, Anthony Florio, here. As you can tell, forgive me if I have a little bit of a spring in my step this evening, because let's just say I got two words for you. Banner night, if you know what I mean. So I'm sure MF's still licking his wounds over there, but, we'll get into that later. But for right now, sleeper fight of the night. I'm gonna surprise you people here. I mean, the Backlash match was no. This was way better. I believe we rated the Backlash match about 2 stars or something like that. I'm pulling the trigger and giving this thing 3.5. This was a much better match. I mean, solid, great. I mean, it was way better than the other match was. The other match was a little slow and boring. This one was way more entertaining than I honestly thought it would be. I mean, this was one of 3 matches on this card that we poo-pooed all over, but no, much better match. I mean, did you hear that crowd? That crowd was big for Daniel Bryan. He was really over, and this was a far better match than the Backlash match, but it seems like everyone, including all of us here, we're ready for Daniel Bryan to move on to something different. And here's hoping that Daniel Bryan beating Big Cass twice in a row means that this feud is done. This feud is over. And, I thought maybe there was a slight chance Cass could have evened things up, but with this being the opener, you had a feeling Daniel Bryan was going to win because, they wanted to, get the crowd hot and, start the show in a favorable, positive manner. So, yeah, way better than the Backlash match. So I'll go as far as to say sleeper fight of the night for me, 3.5 stars. Yes, indeed. A banner night for me. I can't wait to have fun with this later on. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. My vice president in the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement. Great way to start it off. And join me if you would. Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Damn right. Yeah, this was definitely a far better match than the match they had at Backlash. And I agree. I'm going to give it about 3.5 stars. I mean, this was a very good match. I mean, definitely far better than what I expected. I mean, going into this, I really didn't have high hopes for this match. This was certainly way better than what I expected. So 3.5 stars, certainly a great way to kick off the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So I'm just gonna toss it up to Dee Woodson. So Dee, it's all yours.
Yeah, I agree with the rating. It was a 3.5 star bout. It was kind of surprising. It was a little bit better than expected, but still, I'm glad the feud's over. Time now to move on to the next feud. So, not much more I have to say about it. Fletch, let's move on.
All right, and the next thing we had was a one-on-one match. It was Bobby Lashley going up against Sami Zayn. Bobby Lashley gets the victory at 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
This to me was the worst fight of the night. I'm only going to give it 1 star. I mean, this really wasn't anything. I mean, it certainly wasn't enjoyable, and I really hope they move on from this feud. So, 1 star for me. I'm done. Dee, it's yours.
I'm going to give it probably 2 3/4. I mean, it wasn't the best. No, it was pretty lame, but they did, you know, do at least a little bit in the ring, but I'm not going to go into too much detail, so I'm just going to toss it over to Florio.
Who do I agree with? I agree with Michael Bullock. This was the worst fight of the night for me. 1 to 1.5. I mean, this was the second of the 3 matches that, we were poo-pooing all over, and I don't know what was worse, the match or the build. I mean, the build was awful. The fight was awful. I mean, but at least we got to see a little bit of that walking Armageddon side of Bobby Lashley because, he made a little work out of Sami Zayn, and, he got a nice, easy win over him. He put him away easily. So I'm hoping this is a one-and-done thing. Please don't drag this out any further. That would be beyond a trifle unnecessary. So one of the low points of this event for sure. Not the lowest point by any means, because later on, we got something that's going to be a major low point. So we'll set that up soon enough. But for right now, 1 to 1.5 for me. This was the worst fight of the night. Bullock, you nailed it on the head. Dee, you way overscored this one with all due respect. So nothing more to say. MF, move on.
All right, the next fight we had was for the Intercontinental Championship on the Monday Night Raw side, as it was Seth Rollins going up against Elias. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 17 minutes, and still the Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins. He successfully defends the title. Dee Whitson, I give it to you.
Now, this was a better match than the 2 we had before. And to kind of rebuttal Florio, there is one that I thought was a little bit worse. That's one of the reasons why I scored that one a little bit higher. And it is one of the 3 that we didn't like. So, all due respects, I respect y'all going lower on that, but I've got one that I think was worse. So, but this one, I actually kind of, as much as I don't like Elias, I got into it a little bit. I'm going to give it 3 3/4 star. Because it, in my opinion, was a pretty good match. So not much more I'm going to say about it. I'll toss it over to Florio.
And this is where the banner night for Team Red started right here. That's a little bit of a spoiler alert, my friends, if you know what I mean. This is where it started for us right here. This is where we started to get the momentum here on this night. Much needed momentum, by the way. I couldn't agree with Didi's rating more, but I'm gonna pull the trigger a little more here. 3 3/4 to 4 stars, and to me, it's one of the top fights of the night. It's not the fight of the night. There's definitely one that I thought was just a smidgen better, but man alive, I mean, yeah, it was a little slow early in the whole 9 yards. I understand that, but the closing minutes were fun, and at this point in the card, this was the most entertaining match at that point. And hopefully, and unlike Zayn and Lashley, that's a feud we want done and over with. We don't want to see any more from those two. But as far as these two are concerned, I think this feud's far from over. And if that's the case, I'm down with it. I know my MF's down with it. And did you hear that crowd for Elias? I mean, I told you guys, didn't I tell you guys this crowd was going to be red hot for this match? I told you. I mean, that crowd was hot for Elias. They were hot for Rollins, the burn it down. I mean, man alive. So my frontline soldier does it again. I gain more and more respect for Seth Rollins as the weeks and months go by. And, you know, I want him with that title for the foreseeable future. I'm hoping we can nuke a nice long reign. He's capable of it. I mean, you remember, he held that WWE Championship for a long time. So I'm hoping that they give him just as long of a run with this, or maybe even a longer run with it. He's bringing prestige and credibility, much needed prestige and credibility, back to the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. And I'm falling in love with that title all over again. And I couldn't be more grateful and more blessed to have that title on Team Red on Monday Night Raw. It is our workhorse title right now. Of course, our champion is just, sitting at home counting his money, doing some other things, blah, 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 whatever. So we'll probably see him in about 4 or 5 weeks or months or years or whatever. So really nothing more to say on the little nitpick aside. 3 3/4 to 4 stars. Seth Rollins, nothing left for me to say except God bless you, brother. That's all I can say about that. And what a blessing you are to Monday Night Raw, man. The heart and soul of it, MF. I mean, you guys at SmackDown Live could have had him. He was yours for the taking, and there's a superstar shakeup, but nope. You blew it, pal. You blew it. This is where the banner night started for Team Red right here. So onward and upward. 3 3/4 to 4 in my top 3 for sure. I'm debating on whether it should be the second or the third. It's not the fight of the night. I already know. We all know what the fight of the night was. So that's more to say. Seth freaking Rollins, Michael Bullock, burn it down.
Oh, Seth Rollins burned it down. 3 3/4 to 4 stars. I do agree. And yeah, I mean, both men should be credited for putting on one heck of a match that we saw tonight. And yeah, so now the thing is, I mean, now the big question is, what's next for Seth Rollins and his Intercontinental title defense? I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But definitely great work by both men. 3 3/4 to 4 stars. So let's just move right along, Fletch.
All right, and now it's time. It's history. For the second time ever, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The competitors are representing Monday Night Raw, Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, and Natalia. Representing SmackDown Live was Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Lana, and Naomi. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and Miss Money in the Bank, representing Monday Night Raw, Alexa Bliss. She wins the briefcase. She got the contract. She now gets to hold it for any time, any place, anywhere, up to 1 calendar year. And I believe it goes to Anthony Florio. So, Anthony, last year, Carmella from SmackDown Live won it. This year, it does indeed go to Red. It goes to Alexa Bliss, probably the one that we did not expect to win it, but she got it. She's Miss Money in the Bank.
Oh, yes, indeed. I should not have listened to you guys. You remember the other night. You remember what I said the other night. I said going in, my initial thoughts, my 2 favorites to win were Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. They were my 2 favorites to win. I should have gone with my gut, and I should have gone with Alexa. The one time I should have listened to my gut, I didn't. I bought into the Natalia and Ronda hype. I'm making that mistake again. But nonetheless, the banner night for Team Raw continues. Another 3. This is 3 3/4 to 4 again. I mean, man alive. I mean, compared to the nonsense we had last year over on SmackDown Live, that controversial finish and at the pay-per-view last year where they had to do it on network television, which was a nice touch, and that match was far better. But this time around, when it comes to the brief history of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, this one was the best. I mean, they did a great job. Yes, there were a couple of awkward moments where the person at the top of the ladder had to fumble around because someone was late stopping them. I mean, Naomi was up there for way too long. But even so, this, in the brief history of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, was a fun and the most entertaining of them all. And I know, well, I'm just going to be real blunt with you. Michael Bullock and Didi Woodson are about to poo-poo all over this. And quite frankly, I'm not surprised. Michael Bullock's about to go into his wham, 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 Byron Saxton mode. And Didi Woodson's going to go into Mother Hen mode. And, well, not just Mother Hen mode, but also Twisted Angel mode. Because we all know, out of this panel right here, no two people I know despise Alexa Bliss more than Michael Bullock and Didi Woodson. And I got a bad feeling these two are about to really go high horsing here. So I'm dreading it. But my only advice to you, my friends, is to Bullock and Didi, keep it clean. That's all I ask. So you can poo all over it all you want. I know Bullock.
Well, actually, Florio, I'm not going to go off on this.
Wow. But I'm sure Didi's going to, because we all know she's number one on Didi's hit list, and a certain blonde over on SmackDown is the other one on the hit list. So we'll get into.
There's gonna be rage tonight. I already feel it. You don't even need to tell me. There's gonna be some raging going around. Just wait. Just wait. It might not happen yet. Might not happen right now, but it will happen. I feel it.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that's gonna probably ruin my good mood, my ridiculously over good mood, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. So great action. All 8 worked hard, and I'm glad Charlotte was able to make it. I mean, I'm glad that I guess that report was not true after all. Thank goodness. So, yeah, it was the most stacked field. Lana was the weakest, but all 8 did a very solid job, and like I said, out of the brief history of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, this was far and away the best one. And I know not everybody's going to be excited about it, but I'm fine with it. It didn't matter to me. As long as a Raw girl won it, whether it was Natty or Alexa or Sasha or Ember, as long as someone from Team Red won it, I'm a happy camper. So, and this is only the start. Bigger and the best is yet to come. Ooh, the best is yet to come for the Red brand here tonight. So I'm going to take a moment here. I'm going to park it right here. So 3 3/4 to 4. Best women's Money in the Bank ladder match ever. Michael Bullock, honestly, I was expecting you to go into your wham, wham, wham Byron Saxton mode, but I'm sure you're going to do that later anyway. But not for this? Wow.
Yeah, not for this, but for something later on. We'll get to it when we get there. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. 3 3/4 to 4. I mean, this was definitely. I mean, this was a really good women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and yeah, I mean, Alexa Bliss now becomes the second ever Miss Money in the Bank to win it, and well, what happens next? Well, it may come to. I mean, it could come as a surprise to some. Well, we'll talk about it when we get there. So, 3 3/4 to 4. I'm not going to go off on it like Florio expected me to, but when it comes to the person, well, that could be a different story. So, that's all I got to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you, and I'm sure you're ready to go into your Twisted Angel mode.
I'm not going full Twisted Angel on this one, but yeah, I'm not real happy with the winner. Would have liked to seen anybody else other than her, but it was still a good match. Regardless, I have to give them credit for that. And I'm popping exactly 4 stars on it. I'm not doing 3 1/4 to 4. I'm doing 4 because they did a very good job. And despite everything leading up to this match with the fake injuries and the injuries and the interjecting into Nia and Ronda's promos, it still ended up being a really good match in the end. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Like I said, more than likely, I think you all know which one out of the ladies' matches that will get it. But then there's one other one also that will get a touch of it as well, which is the one I'm considering the worst fight of the night. So let's go on.
All right, and the next thing we had was a one-on-one match. This was from Monday Night Raw. This probably might get the Pearl Harbor job. Roman Reigns one-on-one with Jinder Mahal. Roman Reigns wins the match in 15 minutes and 40 seconds. And I believe it is indeed Michael Bullock that gets to lead off. So, Bullock, give me your thoughts. The big dog, successful and wins in Chicago.
Oh, what was the time again, Fletch?
15:40.
You know what? I thought it was a fine match for what it was. I mean, and the thing is, I mean, you wanted to give the crowd a little bit of a breather from that incredible women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So, to me, I mean, I'm going to give this only 2.5 star. I'm only going to give this 2.5. I mean, I really wasn't that interested in it, and I'm pretty sure the crowd in Chicago didn't really give 2 hoots about it. So, that's really all I'm going to say on it. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
This one was my worst fight of the night. I'm giving it 2 stars. Yeah, I didn't hear much of anybody really into this. And what the heck with the fake injury crap on the outside of the ring? I mean, that was pretty stupid. I mean, that's the kind of crap for me that ruins a match, is when you have somebody out there faking injury just so they can jump up at the last minute and interject into the match while the guy in the ring is distracting the referee. It's old school. It's happened too many times. And of course, the old saying is nothing's new in wrestling. Well, this definitely proved it right here, because there's always somebody who's in these matches that's trying to do it. And we all know Jinder can't win without somebody's help. Well, this proved he can't win even with somebody's help. So 2 stars, my worst fight of the night. So Florio, just take it.
Yeah. Didn't I mean, once again, I gotta be the man who tells it like it is. I told you guys. I told you that crowd was gonna poo-poo all over this. I'm not at all surprised. I mean, come on, did you really expect that crowd to go nuts for this? Yeah, right. MF, you called it. I mean, the chants were pretty much there, and yeah, the content in the match was okay, but as a promoter, as a booker, I mean, why would you put these 2 guys out there for so long in what is the IWC capital of the world in a toxic environment? Jinder is a complete non-factor, but then again, I could have told you that. I could have told you that a year ago, even when he was the WWE champion. And we all knew Roman was going to win this. Have Jinder work over him for maybe 30 seconds, get Roman jacked up, hit his stuff, and finish the bout just like you could have done, like what you had with The Undertaker and John Cena at WrestleMania. Get in and get out and be done while avoiding, that rabid Chicago crowd. WWE wants Roman to be a big deal, but right now, he's as cold as ice right now, man. That's not good. I mean, they keep pushing this. They want to keep pushing this guy to babyface, but no, he just continues to draw those meh reactions. And yeah, so I told you he was going to get crucified. They both got crucified. This is a match that had no business being on this card. Same with Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. These were the only two things from Team Red tonight that really left a bad taste in my mouth. But everything else that Team Raw did tonight, much better. So really nothing more to say on that. So I agree. I'm going to give this 2 stars. I'm going to say this was the second worst fight of the night. I still think that Zayn and Lashley one was worse for me. So nothing more to say. And MF, I got a feeling that Bullock's, I think Bullock's about to go into full-on Saxton mode, and Didi's going to go into full-on Twisted Angel mode.
Oh, yeah. It's about to explode right now. Basically, what it was for the SmackDown Women's title, and it was Asuka going one-on-one with the reigning champion, Carmella, at 11 minutes and 10 seconds, the winner of the bout, and still SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella wins it because James Ellsworth is back in WWE. He helps Carmella win the match and successfully defend the title. Oh my God, we're going down that road again. And Didi Woodson leads off. Uh-oh. Oh, batten down the hatches, boys.
Sound the alarms!
Yeah, batten down the hatches, jump in any rabbit hole you can find, because Mama is about to go off.
Mamma mia. Oh, boy. Did we have to have him back? Wasn't it bad enough when we had him the first time and she dragged him around on a damn leash? Now we have to have him back dressed as Asuka? Really? This was... I would say this match was going pretty well up till that point where you interject the idiot because the witch can't win the damn match without the idiot being there. We're back to this crap. Women can't prove themselves in the match, just like Jinder Mahal can't prove himself in a match without having some stupid idiot interject themselves in the match. Ugh. I see our monkey riders decided to jump in on the pay-per-view, so I'm giving this barely 2 stars because of Ellsworth butting his butt into this stupid match. I mean, he butted in for Carmella to get the Money in the Bank. Carmella had to have someone beat up Charlotte, which ended up being the Iconics, so that she could win the title. I think she's only had maybe 1 or 2 title defenses where nobody actually helped her, which was a surprise. But now she's back to this little helpless person who has to have somebody watch her back because she don't know how to do crap. Oh, just move on before I say something else because I'm about ready to explode, guys.
Tony, you better take it now.
Forgettable match with a finish that you're going to either love or, in our case, hate. And I'll tell you what, if you've been watching this show for the better part of the last year or so, or any length of time, you know how Didi Woodson and Michael Bullock feel about James Ellsworth. That's all there is to say about that. But then again, some of the pay-per-view columns that I read, there was a rumor going around that Ellsworth that Ellsworth could have stuck his nose in, and or in this case, his lack of chin, but he did just that. And I'm gonna give this a solid 2.5 for the effort. I mean, the Ellsworth finish took too long to develop, and it felt really stupid. And while those have been critical of Carmella, I can honestly say this was easily her best main roster performance and way better than the Backlash match against Charlotte. She kept up the heel work, added new things to her offense, and it really felt like a complete performer for the first time. But the lack of the crowd heat came with the fact that people didn't believe in Carmella's offense and are not into seeing Asuka sell for so long. But Lord Almighty, I mean, God help us all. That's all I can say about that. And SmackDown Live. Ooh. You just hit a low. And thankfully, going forward, yes, they did have one moment, which we're going to get into in a bit. They did have one moment in the sun, but this is another example why this was a banner night for Monday Night Raw. At least we don't have nonsense like this in our women's division. That's all I can say about that. And the modern day Santina Marella, he's back in there. And the Crown of Chicago, yeah, they popped for him, but he's about to get popped here. Didi Woodson just popped him. But while Didi Woodson is not a fan of Carmella or Alexa Bliss, I know one individual who loathes and detests James Ellsworth more than anybody, and that's one Michael Bullock. And I got a feeling now we're gonna get that full on wham Byron Saxton mode. And if we were doing the commentary, this would have worked out so perfectly. Bullock would have gone into full on Saxton mode, and I would have I would have dropped the JBL on him and did the wham, cry me a river. That's all I can say on that. That's what.
And I would have said, "Shut up."
Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm gonna say 2.5 for the effort. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I give you our resident Byron Saxton, the one and only Michael Bullock. Wham, Bullock. It's all yours.
Oh, shut up. Yeah. Okay, WWE. What in the freaking hell were you thinking? I mean, and Didi Woodson said it best. Carmella can't wrestle, and once again, she had to have freaking James Ellsworth. I mean, I thought we were done with this douchebag. I really thought we were. But no, they decided to bring this windbag back, and now we're going to have to deal with him again? Ugh. No. Oh, hell freaking no. I mean, James Ellsworth, I mean, you are the biggest dink in the freaking world. And, oh, God, I wish the Undertaker could come and beat the living hell out of this douchebag and then put him in a casket and bury him 6 feet under. Because this James Ellsworth is beyond the point of go away. I thought we were done with this. But no, WWE said, no, let's bring him back and have him with Carmella again. Do you really think anybody's going to give 2 hoots about this? I am most certainly not. 2.5 stars on the match. I agree with that. And as far as James Ellsworth, you can go to hell. Straight to hell, you douchebag. I'm done.
All right.
I'm freaking done.
All right. I guess we are indeed going to move on, and we move on to what I believe would be the highlight for SmackDown Live tonight. It was Last Man Standing for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles going one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura, the winner of the bout, in 31 minutes, 15 seconds, and still the WWE Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
Fight of the night, 4.5 stars. There you go, MF. I mean, it may have been a banner night for Monday Night Raw, but SmackDown Live, the only bright spot for you boys and for MF is you had the fight of the night. I'll give you that. 4.5 stars. I mean, oh my goodness. Very strong last man standing match. Yes, it started a little slow, but it built nicely, and this was honestly the best of the Styles Nakamura matches in WWE, and this surpassed Elias and Rollins for the fight of the night honor. You have to believe, you have to assume this is the end of the feud, and if so, it's going to be very interesting to see where both of these men go from here. Maybe Nakamura could go after Jeff Hardy in the United States Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of rumors about Jeff Hardy having some issues with his nerves there, and if that's true, then, like I said the other night, you might want to consider taking the belt off him ASAP and putting it on someone who can run with it. And Nakamura can certainly run with it. And he can definitely get something going with the U.S. title. No disrespect to Jeff Hardy, but he hasn't really done anything to make that belt meaningful right now. And I think Shinsuke could do just that. But man alive. But you got to feel for Nakamura, though. I mean, how many times has he battled for the WWE Championship? Like 6 or 7 times, and he's come up empty each and every time. That's a damn shame. But second half was much better than the first. But like many last man standing matches, too much downtime and forced attempts at drama to make it truly great. If it wasn't for that, I would have given this the full 5. But very good with a great finish. Their best WWE match together, far and away. Better than Mania, better than Greatest Royal Rumble, better than Backlash. But I think it's time to move on. I don't know who's going to be next for AJ. Maybe Samoa Joe. Maybe Daniel Bryan. After Bryan knocked off Cass. I mean, Joe certainly is a worthy challenger as well. Might want to consider Miz. I don't know. We'll see. But really nothing left for me to say except this was the fight of the night. I'm going to give this 4.5 stars. I would have given it 5, but it was a little slow in parts. If it wasn't for that, I would have pulled the trigger, but I think 4.5 is the best I can go with this. So, fight of the night. There you go, MF. There's your moment. There's the SmackDown Live moment. Good news is you had the fight of the night, but the bad news is not a banner night for Team Blue. Sorry, Bullock is yours.
Yeah, 4.5 stars, fight of the night. Yeah, I mean, there were some parts of the match that were slow, but man, I mean, the rest of it was just awesome, to say the very least. I mean, it certainly lived up to what it was, last man standing. So, yeah, I just feel bad for Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, he's had chance after chance to become WWE champion, and he's not failed, and he has failed on it. So now WWE can move on from this rivalry and move on to bigger, better things for them, whether it's Nakamura, like you said, going after the United States title, or maybe even having or having AJ Styles feuding with the Samoa Joes, but we'll just have to wait and see. So nothing more I can say on it. Dee Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree. It's 4.5 stars. Definitely the fight of the night. It was definitely an awesome match. These guys went the whole 9 yards, and beyond that. I mean, it was just that awesome of a match. Just when you would think one would be down, he'd pop back up, or both would be down and they both pop up, and it was just amazing to watch. So it was definitely the fight of the night. So not much more I have to say about it. Let's go on.
All right, and we go on to the Raw Women's title fight, one of the most highly anticipated matches that was on the fight card. It was Ronda Rousey making her singles in-ring debut, going up against the reigning champion, Nia Jax, the winner of the bout, in 11 minutes and 5 seconds via disqualification was Ronda Rousey, which means she did not win the title. Nia Jax is still the champion. However, the Money in the Bank came into play. Alexa Bliss cashes in on Nia Jax, and it's a 2-for-1 deal as there was a match. 35 seconds into that, the winner of the bout, and now a 5-time WWE Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, wins the title in Chicago. I called it. I feared that the title was not going to go to Ronda or Nia. I just picked the wrong girl to take it home. I said it was going to be Natalya. It ended up being Alexa Bliss, which is even doubly worse for Didi Woodson and for Michael Bullock because I know they don't like her. Oh boy. Michael Bullock, I hate to do this to you, bro, but you got to lead off on this. Ronda wins it by DQ, doesn't get the title. Alexa cashes in on the Money in the Bank contract, and Alexa Bliss is now the champion again.
2 stars on the match, but I mean, Alexa Bliss cashing in and becoming Raw Women's Champion again. I mean, do we have to deal with her? I mean, she's had. I mean, when are we going to see somebody else besides Alexa Bliss hold the title? I mean, we've seen Nia Jax, we've seen Bayley, we've seen Charlotte hold the title, but every other time it's been Alexa Bliss. I don't get it. I don't know. I really don't know. Didi Woodson. I got a feeling we're going to get another Twisted Angel coming out of you.
Well, I'll say this much. I think the reason that Bliss keeps getting the damn title shots is because the owner of WWE probably looks at her and gets a freaking heart on. And no, I'm not taking that back. No, that's not the view of the rest of the panel or the producers of the show. That's my personal view. I will take responsibility for that.
Well, damn, that was not PG.
No, it's not PG.
Holy crap, Didi. Woo.
Like I said, I'm not going to put that comment.
Hey, this is a TV-14 show, so don't worry. It's perfectly within bounds on my show because I'm the one hosting it. So you don't have to worry about it. You're in perfect bounds on my end.
Yeah, if we were doing this on Florio's channel, you'd be in trouble.
I know. But as for how the match was going before she interjected, I actually thought it was going really good and would actually shoot it at a 3-star. But once you get the DQ and Alexa cashes in, it's definitely no rating because basically she's just picking up the scraps just like any other Money in the Bank winner who decides to cash in at the last minute. But yeah, that's my opinion on why the little tramp just keeps getting title shots when frankly she doesn't deserve it, because she's another one in that same category with Jinder Mahal, with Carmella, and several others who's done this, that has to have someone out there with them, like The Miz, to win a match. How many times did during Miz's title reign that he have to have the Miz Taraj or his wife back him up to win a match? Here we are going all over again. Now we have two crappy champions on both shows that neither one of them deserve the freaking title, and they both have the title because of the daggum owner who is hot on these freaking blondes that are freaking airheads that don't know their butts from a hole in the ground. So there's the other half of your twisted rant. Florio, take it.
Oh man, alive. Yeah, good thing. Good thing this is on MF's channel, because if this was on mine, well, we would have to have a talk in the name of the Lord, Didi, on that one. But nonetheless, this is MF's channel, so he gets a pass here. So lucky for that. But
well, normally I wouldn't do something like that, but
I know you're fired up. I know. Not
yeah, I'm just really ticked off at how the championship matches went tonight. So ladies did not shine other than in the Money in the Bank. So yeah.
Fair enough. And yeah, I know you're fired up, eating. You have every right to be, believe me. But talking about Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax, even with the finish, I have to give it 3 stars. I mean, it was good. There was action. There was all action. There was no filler. And Ronda delivered again. Okay, maybe not as highly as she did at Mania, where she sold the show and had a damn near 5-star classic of a mixed tag match. But she just has a great presence and really is doing the right things at the right time. And she just has to work on her out of the ring. But the finish, they protected her, which was smart. And it gets nuclear heat on Alexa Bliss. And this was easily one of Nia Jax's better matches. And the Alexa Bliss cash in, like it or not, and I know Didi Woodson absolutely loathes and detests it, but it played out really well. And I know everybody's gonna poo-poo all over it and the whole 9 yards about how Didi is, or I should say Alexa rather, is once again on top of the Raw Women's Division, where you have so many other great talents on that roster who deserve the opportunity way more than she does, Ember Moon. But that's all there is to really say on that. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I'm hoping that Alexa Bliss gets a promo tomorrow about single-handedly beating 9 women to win Money in the Bank and then becoming champion again. So maybe like one of those moments with Bliss things. I don't know. We'll wait and see on that. But really nothing left for me to say on that. The Nia and Ronda match, I give that 3. But as far as the cash-in goes, just like some of the other cash-in matches over the years, an NA. But Alexa rules again. So nothing more to say here, MF. Let's just move on to the main event. And, I'm grinning from ear to ear right now.
It's the men's Money in the Bank. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what this means. Well, I'm just going to say the winner. I'm not going to build it up much longer. The winner of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and the man who will now get an opportunity at either the Universal Championship or the WWE title is none other than the monster among men.
Come on, boy.
From Monday Night Raw.
Do it.
Braun Strowman is Mr. Money in the Bank. Didi Woodson, You do the honors, my dear. Braun wins.
Yeah, we all pretty much knew Braun was going to win this. And, they tried to bury him again like they did under the chairs a few pay-per-views ago. This time under a whole bunch of ladders. Didn't stop him. Laughed my head off at Kevin Owens several times. Do hope he's okay, though, after going through the stuff there on the side of the stage. I mean, I don't, as much as I don't care for him, I don't want to, ill will and wish ill will on anybody. So, but yeah, I mean, this was, I'm going to take a word from AJ Styles. This was phenomenal. This was a very good match. 4 stars. Lots of action. Lots of fear looks on the Miz. Wasn't surprised that it was Kofi Kingston because this is right up his style. Loved how he rode Strowman up the ladder. I thought that was funny. And Miz, when you push a ladder, you don't pull it towards you. You push it away from you so it doesn't almost fall on you. You crazy, stupid idiot. Learn how to do a ladder match properly, okay? Not much more I'm going to say about it. Like I said, it was a 4-star match. It was very, very well done. Great way to end the show. Congratulations to Strowman. So, Florio, take it home.
Banner night from Monday Night Raw. I couldn't be any happier. This is the happiest I've been probably since back in November when Team Raw won Survivor Series. I mean, I honestly thought we were going to have a split. I thought we were going to have a 50-50. I thought Raw was going to win one contract and then SmackDown Live was going to get the other, to even it out. But I never thought in my wildest dreams that Raw would win both of them. I mean, MF, we got bragging rights on you, man. I mean, for the last month, SmackDown Live has been putting on shows that we've rated on average between 8 and 9 out of 10. Whereas Monday Night Raw was putting on shows that we average rated between 5 and 6 out of 10. Maybe even lower. But on this night, Team Raw delivered. And the monster among men, Braun Strowman, man, that's awesome. I mean,
he's now guaranteed a shot at Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
Oh, yeah. This was another great Money in the Bank match. 4 stars. I agree with the rating. It was different than the women's, as it was more chaotic and had crazier spots, but it was not quite as smooth at times. But it was a really enjoyable way to close the show. And memo to Mr. McDinkleberg and your Bucktooth Beaver buddy. Memo to you guys. Put Braun over now. ASAP. You've given him the key to it. You've given him the contract. You gave him the briefcase. That's part 1. Now part 2. Have him cash that sucker in ASAP, and let's end that lazy and uninspired reign of Brock Lesnar as the Universal Champion. And then we can finally not only have a full-time champion, a full-time Universal Champion on Team Red, but also a champion, in the immortal words of Jesse Ventura, that all of us, especially myself and Michael Bullock, can be beyond proud of. So, you already had him surpass CM Punk. I know that was your little shot at Punk. Brock Lesnar's now the longest running champion in the modern era. You finally had him do that. Yeah, 3/4 of that reign, you had him sitting on his ass and doing nothing. Except sit there and count his damn money. Whatever. That's cool. But let me tell you something, Beastie Boy. You got a monster who's about to be breathing down your neck, son. You better be watching your back. Paul E ain't gonna save your ass, big boy. Oh no. One of these days, I don't care if it's on a Monday Night Raw taping. I don't care if it's at a pay-per-view. Extreme Rules, SummerSlam, what have you. I don't care when it happens. You better watch your back, son. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Or I should say, before Braun wrecks you. You got lucky the last time you two met. But now that Braun's got that contract, ooh. Like MF and I used to do one of our funny bits back in the day. MF, I think you know where I might be going with this. Rock, ooh, you in trouble.
In trouble.
You in trouble, baby. You better hold on to that thing. You better hold on to that thing like Alexander Ovechkin is holding on to the Stanley Cup. That's all I can say on that. So, because you got yourself a 6'8", 385-pound monster among men with a green and yellow briefcase in his hand. Nice
Can I say the sands of the hourglass? That sand is starting, and we know that clock is now ticking. It's only a matter of time now. It's not just a matter of if.
Oh no.
It's now a matter of when does it happen.
It better be ASAP, because I'm sick and damn tired of Brock Lesnar keeping that title off my show. Do it. I want a full-time champion, and
you might get it. Well, you got it now.
You put that Universal title on Braun Strowman, and if you keep the Intercontinental on Rollins, finally we can have two champions that we can all be proud of. Amen?
Yeah. No, and I agree with that, because of the fact that then you have the Universal title on a full-time basis, right, and you already have the best guy on the roster, Seth Rollins, with the Intercontinental title. It will be a breath of fresh air, and maybe that is the jolt you need if you're Monday Night Raw. Yeah, no doubt about it. Tonight was a banner night. I honestly thought it would be Samoa Joe or The Miz to win, and it wasn't. But if you really think about it, I don't think SmackDown really needed the Money in the Bank. It seemed like WWE gave it to Monday Night Raw because it seemed like Raw desperately needs it more than any other time. So I kind of feel like McMahon, Kevin Dunn, the Suits, or like Didi Woodson would say, the Monkey Writers, I feel like they gave Monday Night Raw a lifeline here, for this one time, because they know how Raw's been getting not so great, and SmackDown been nailing it week after week after week, and you even admitted it. So this is probably the one time where they'll let SmackDown concede, let Raw take over for the one night. Now it's what do they do with it? You got the lifeline, you got the extra life. What do you do with it now? Don't F up tomorrow night. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they better not. After this momentous night, hopefully this is where we hit the reset button and we reset it in a hard way, and then we can finally start competing with you boys again. That's what I want. I want a healthy competition. That's all there is to it. I want to see Raw actually hang with SmackDown Live. I don't want to have SmackDown Live dominate us each and every week. I'm done with that. We're done with that. We needed a shot in the arm the last month. Like I said, our average rating on Raw shows has been like between 4 to 5 out of 10. Whereas SmackDown Live, we keep giving it we rate it like on an average like 8 to 9 every week. Well, on this night, other than AJ, Nakamura, and Bryan and Cass, SmackDown did not really have that good of a night. This was a Raw night. Yeah, we had Zayn and Lashley and Roman and Jinder. Those two blech fights aside, everything else on Team Red's side delivered. And I cannot believe we won both contracts. Team Little Big from the Mixed Match Challenge, Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman. Well done, my friends. Well done. To the chagrin of Didi Woodson and Michael Bullock, for Alexa Bliss, but But I know we're all happy for the monster among men. He damn sure deserves it. Now he's got that contract. We're now at the rate of 17 out of 20. 20 cash-ins, 17 times a new champion crown. Either 8 times a new WWE champion, I believe 7 times a new World Heavyweight champion, and 2 times a new women's champion. So
this will be the first universal cash-in the Money in the Bank ever.
And please, let's make it 18 out of 21 when the monster decides to cash it in, whether he does it honestly or whether he does it the ultimate opportunist way. I don't care how he does it. I just want him to get that damn thing off of Lesnar. And then finally, and then if you keep it on Rollins, finally, hallelujah, praise you, Lord, we'll finally have 2 champions and 2 frontline soldiers that Monday Night Raw can be proud of. And not just Raw, but all of us, especially me, can be proud of. To have 2 workhorse champions, Strowman and Seth. Yeah, this guy's the best is yet to come for Team Red. So 4 stars, another one of the fights of the night. Fantastic match. I could not be any more delighted with the outcome, not just because of Braun Strowman, but not just because a Raw guy won, but the one Raw guy I wanted to have win it, Braun Strowman. I would have been happy if it had been Finn Balor, for goodness sakes, because Finn Balor never lost the Universal Championship. But I guess he's not quite over yet. But hey, who cares? Braun Strowman is. And get that title off of Lesnar ASAP, put it on Braun, keep the IC on Seth. 2 champions we all can be proud of on Monday Night Raw. And that, truly, for once, would be best for business. 4 stars, Michael Bullock. Nothing left for me to say except, roar! Our man did it, and I believe you had this one. You called it.
Yep, I called it 4 stars. Another one of the fights of the night. And yeah, Braun Strowman is now Mr. Money in the Bank. And I hope he cashes it in eventually and becomes the Universal Champion. So I think Florida pretty much touched on everything. So I'm just going to move on to the overall thoughts.
Overall review time, guys. Give me your thoughts on tonight's Money in the Bank. We lead it off with, I believe it goes to you, Anthony. So go ahead. It's yours.
This was a very good show. I mean, okay, we all know NXT was far better, but then again, we already knew that going in. By the way, when it comes to the NXT Takeover Chicago, 9.5 to a perfect 10.
Yeah, agreed. 9.5. We'll get into that on Tuesday night.
Sounds good. This definitely exceeded my expectations, and fight of the night, last man standing, AJ and Nakamura, both Money in the Bank ladder matches delivered in spades. Rollins and Elias was great. We all knew that was going in. I mean, I said it was a 4-match show, and the 4 matches that I talked about, they all delivered in one way or another. Daniel Bryan and Big Cass, where did that come from? Why couldn't we have had that at Backlash? That's all I can say on that. I mean, those two way over-delivered, especially Daniel Bryan. I mean, to carry Big Cass the way he did, made Cass look good. Props to you, yes, man. That's all there is to say on that. I mean, those 5 matches delivered. Ronda Rousey, Nia Jax. That's my other sleeper fight of the night. I wasn't sure about that one going in, especially because of Nia, but Ronda's Ronda. Ronda keeps doing what she does best. Looking great. And those 6 matches all delivered. Yeah, the women, Carmella and Asuka, yeah, that could have been better. The Ellsworth thing really ruined it. Roman and Jinder, yeah, we all knew that was gonna going in. To me, Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley was the worst fight of the night. That's all I can say there. And I mean, don't know what else there is to say really, except that overall it was a fun event. It dragged at times, which is to be expected when the show clocked in at 4.25 hours. and they closed strong, as everything after Last Man Standing was really fun. In retrospect, they really could have. I honestly thought they were going to have Ronda and Nia main event it. They easily could have done that, and I would have been fine with that. I can't blame them for not going with it due to the uncertainty of Ronda and her first singles bout, but it played out well enough along with the post-match cash-in by Alexa that it would have worked. And, 7 to 7.5. There was some rough and average stuff, but both Money in the Bank matches were great. Alexa's cash-in played well, whether you like it or not. Rollins and Elias, Last Man Standing, both of those were very good. The show was, I still felt it was a little tiring, a little long and a bit bloated, but it was a very nice bounce back after that god-awful backlash. Man, that thing was god-awful. But this was far better. So I think 7 to 7.5 is the best I can go with it. If not for some of those low points, I probably would have gone higher. But I think 7 to 7.5, because all 4 of those matches I talked about the other night all delivered in one way or another. Bryan and Cass over-delivered, and Ronda and Nia was good, and the other matches were just okay at best. So, and the Ellsworth thing, that definitely knocks my rating down a peg. So, but that crowd in Chicago, man, wow. Last night and tonight. Now do you know why we call Chicago the IWC capital of the world? They proved it. They proved it at both events tonight. Well done. Big ups to you, to all you wonderful fans in Chicago. Well done. 7 to 7.5. Michael Bullock, we weren't sure about this event going in, but as far as I'm concerned, it over-delivered tonight.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. 7 to 7.5 out of 10. The Sami Zayn Bobby Lashley match was the worst fight of the night. Both Money in the Bank ladder matches delivered, and the Daniel Bryan Big Cass match really surprised me. It was really good. The Rousey and Jax match I thought was good until the DQ finish. So, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. 7 to 7.5. So, Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll agree with the rating. It definitely was a bore at times, a bit long, but hey, it still was a good pay-per-view. Had several strong points. But yeah, I might have had a few gripes during it, but that's normal, especially when I don't like watching women's title matches be degraded like they were tonight, to a point to where it just turns my stomach, especially the SmackDown one. So not much more I'm going to say on it. So let's put the bow on it.
And we're gonna. All right, we want to say thank you very much for joining us this evening. And tomorrow night is Ridiculously Raw with Anthony Florio. The fallout from the Money in the Bank on the Raw side. What happens now with Alexa Bliss, the new Raw Women's Champion, a 5-time champion now. And then Braun Strowman, Mr. Money in the Bank. When is he going to call his shot on Brock Lesnar? Well, we'll wait and see. Plus, there'll also be some other fallout. We also got 205 Live. We got Impact Wrestling that Anthony Floyd will be covering. Unfortunately, due to work commitments beyond my control, I won't be able to be a guest panelist tomorrow night. But you'll have Anthony, you'll have Dee, you'll have Michael Bullock. I will be back in the house Tuesday night for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, as we will be talking about NXT TakeOver Chicago. We will have SmackDown Live. That'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on this very channel. And then we'll have a new edition of Strictly Sports on Friday. The docket is not out yet, but keep your eyes peeled. We normally have that out either on Monday or Tuesday. So for Anthony Floyo, for Dee Woodson, for Michael Bullock, I'm Mike Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now, and we hope you have a very nice Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Until then, Hug the Hand Pounds, we are out.